Check, mic check. We are alive.
Yeah.
We're alive and we're live. Why don't you come to my podcast? I'm trying to flex, like I have a podcast, I have a studio. And you're like, no, I actually have been to a podcast before. I'm like, damn, I haven't met that kind of person before who is like flexing me back. How many jobs do you have?
So I'm wearing right now my FFC shirt. I'm the rock climbing guy there, I guess.
I want to brew my own non-alcoholic beer.
That'd be awesome. I have no idea how you would do that.
How do you brew your own?
As soon as you start thinking, should I do this? You're already looking for excuses to not do that.
Yeah. Don't ask yourself, just do it. Let's say first cheers.
Cheers, man.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Do you know this commercial with Tom Brady? Let's go. That's by the rental cars. Where is this?
I mean, I don't really watch TV, so I
That's on YouTube. You pay premium for YouTube?
know, but I have ad block.
Ad blocks on YouTube,
block.
and they work?
Mm-hmm. It works.
No way. So
Yeah.
you don't need to even play the video without commercial?
No.
Come on, I have ad blocks for all my extension in the browsers I use,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, I still see them and I get disrupted. I'm like, have to get this YouTube premium.
Wow. How much is YouTube Premium?
Well, it used to be $10 a month.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know now because I haven't even paid before, but they used to like catch me with 1 month free. Now, since I skipped them so much, it's 3 months free. I'm gonna wait for a year free, so I may try.
Just keep ignoring them.
It's
Wait
just
for the good sale.
exactly. I mean, if you see my phone, I spend 8 hours to 10 hours a day on my phone. That's crazy. I don't even want to check, which half of it at least is on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? Do you spend time on YouTube?
I would say, because do you have an iPhone or a Samsung? What
I
kind
do
of
have
phone
an
do you
iPhone.
So on an iPhone, there's a usage app. It tells you specifically how long you're using specific application, or really how often are you on your phone in general.
Yeah.
And I would say I tend to use my phone more when I'm in a waiting process. So if I'm in line, if I'm waiting for friends, there's like a habit to it where it's like there's a downtime. I'm not doing anything. I'll pull up my phone to kind of give me that immediate dopamine and calmness to the nothing happening. And with that, I think I see maybe 6 or so hours a week on Reddit, on the Reddit app.
No way. You spend much time on Reddit?
Yeah.
You're the second person I know that uses Reddit.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like the 4th most popular.
Are you a gamer?
I am a gamer. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's where it's coming from, because gamers use Reddit much, right?
I believe so. I think the terminology of gaming can be spread across like so much stuff. You could have people playing console games or phone games, hardcore PC gamers, and all of them.
I suck on all of them.
Put them all into one category.
Put them all in one category. No, let's say if you have to play some, I don't know, sports,
Mm-hmm.
which we can talk about that later.
Sure.
I may be good at, or I may try,
Mm-hmm.
but with the, where's called the remote, or with the keyboard,
The
with
controller.
the mouse, with controller,
Yeah.
damn, I cannot remember 5 things to do and to continue doing them. Which button was for what things?
Right.
They kill me all the time. Yesterday I went to a barber
Mm-hmm.
and he has a PS5.
Okay.
And by the time you wait for your turn, you can play.
Nice.
And I gave the controller to the person next to me and we start playing FIFA 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with PS5 and FIFA and stuff?
I haven't played that one specifically, but I remember playing FIFA 99 back on the N64.
Damn, that's
So-
where I start playing again. But I mean, that's when I stopped playing as well,
Sure,
like I
sure.
just... Okay, so what kind of games do you play?
So I like to play all kinds of games. It's not like I sit around and play, I guess, my games alone. It's what do my friends want to play? And doing that as an activity with an extension of like our friendship is kind of like the idea. So it's, in my mind, it doesn't really matter what we play as long as I'm doing something with my friends.
So in your time, you play games with your friends?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense. And that's another topic I want to discuss, because Americans don't have that much habits. They don't have much free time, or what is called time to waste, let's say this way.
Okay.
They see any time not put into work as a wasted time. I rather get paid 20 an hour for doing Uber Eats after my work is done than go work out, than go and what is called play FIFA with friends.
Right.
That's how I see Americans.
Yeah.
Just work. How many jobs do you have?
I currently have 2 jobs.
Exactly.
But so I'm wearing right now my FFC shirt. You know, I'm the rock climbing guy there, I guess. I work there on the weekends, Saturday, Sunday, 4 hours a day. And it's really just to not have to pay for the membership, because I didn't want to pay for the membership anymore. And I also like rock climbing. So it was like 2 birds, 1 stone, not a problem. I guess, yeah, I mean, I do work every day of the week. Monday through Friday, I'm an engineering consultant for Siemens. And I focus on like the digitalization, manufacturing, transformation in the shop world, where it's essentially data analytics, trying to increase efficiency, through collection of information.
So you
KPIs
read the
and things like
data
that.
and you put it in some kind of folders or categories.
In an idea, yeah. It's primarily the software, and I'm designing the architecture and implementation for the companies.
So developer of database, data control.
I wouldn't say I'm developing the product itself, but I'll kind of be the implementer. Like I'm not like for example, the setup here you have. I'm assuming the guy that set this up didn't create this. Like all the stuff existed, but he implemented it.
Okay.
Right.
I see.
Same concept.
Digital creator.
Sure.
So for all of you guys who are listening from 7 minutes already, and you're like, who Mihail is talking to? Where is Elena? Let me present you. That's Stephan. That's the guy who I met in the gym, FFC, how we talked just a minute ago, and he's doing mount climbing, right? Correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean,
yeah. I'm the what does my back shirt say? Like climbing wall or something? Climbing wall instructor. I'm not instructing people. I help them. Like if they don't know how to climb, I'll obviously like give them tips and stuff. But yeah, I've been climbing for 5 to 6 years now, and just want to kind of teach people the joys of climbing.
How did you get hooked up into the climbing? How did you get into this?
It was about 5 or 6 years ago. I was on like this, I don't know, transformative journey of trying to better myself. I spent the year, setting goals every month to do something, learn something, kind of like build my personal resume, if that makes sense. I was doing like social tasks of being with friends every month, trying to kind of build my relationships. I also learned how to play the ukulele and all these other things.
What is that ukulele? I'm sorry for interrupting.
A ukulele is like a you know what a guitar is.
Yeah.
And it's in terms of instruments. It's a really small guitar, I guess. I don't really know the history, the origins, but I know think of it as like a tropical coast, kind of like.
I kind of imagine it. How many strings do you have? 2, 3 strings?
I want to say 4, maybe 5.
4 or 5 strings.
It's been a while since I've played.
Yeah.
But I want to say 4 or 5, yeah.
I kind of started doing that things that you just say on when the pandemic happened. I was like, if we all gonna die, I want to do something in life that I wanted to do before I die,
You want to have an experience.
Bucket list
and
things.
Memories, yeah.
But at the same time, things that make you smarter or problem solver or whatever, you name it. Like you develop or your left or your right side of the brain. So one thing I started is, you can see it here on my left, it's the Rubik's Cube.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how it's called? Rubik's Cube?
Rubik's Cube. Yeah.
Rubik's Cube.
Yep.
And I started learning how to do it. And at some point, I was doing it for less than a minute.
You could do it all in a minute?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, if I start doing it right now, it's going to take around, I don't know, 2 minutes. We can try. But my point is same as with your guitar instrument, ukulele. What is it called?
The ukulele.
Ukulele.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how my aha moment was.
Mm-hmm.
Same with you, huh?
It is. Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, it's something exciting to kind of give yourself a challenge and then work towards that challenge and, achieve success. You're not going to always succeed in everything you try, but there's something incredibly rewarding at the end of the day about, doing something that you never really had experience with or a memory for. It was just like, I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to work towards this, put in the time and effort, and then be rewarded. And that's so fulfilling in a sense of purpose. Like you mentioned, for the pandemic, you want to have experiences and memories. And sure, we could binge watch shows on Netflix, for example, and have some type of like enjoyment, but it's not going to be the same fulfillment of like, what'd you do with your month? It's like, oh, I just watched a lot of Netflix. Or did you learn a skill, go travel somewhere, see something, try new food? There's experiences in life, and you kind of have to, go for it.
And all these skills that you just mentioned, where did that lead you to? Like who you were right now?
Who I am.
Do you think you're the best of the best version of yourself,
No,
or you can still have way more to achieve?
There's way more to achieve. I mean, that's kind of like the joy of the journey, is that there is no end point. You'll always be learning. You'll always be experiencing things. Like I have an app on my phone called Fog of World. And if you ever played an old school RTS game, RTS stands for real-time strategy. Games would be like StarCraft, Age of Empires, Age of Mythology, Command and Conquer, these type of games. They had what was called the Fog of the World, where you would explore and then it reveals the map. So there's like it's shadow and it reveals the map. And in that same concept, I have an app on my phone that tracks my GPS, where if I go somewhere, it reveals that as a new location. But this is the entire globe. So when I look at a percentage base, I've explored like 0.0000005%,
So that's like a Google Maps,
Yeah.
but wherever you go, it kind of opened the map of the entire globe. That's what you're saying, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
And that's nice.
It's cool. And it's almost like an incentive for me to travel or go to new locations, where I'll just pull up my app, for example, and I'm like, where am I going to walk to today? And it's like, oh, I've never been down this street, and I'll go down that street. It's this historical tracking memory of where have I been in life.
Eventually, since you're here, I assume you haven't been to a south side.
I've actually explored the park
You
right next to it many times. Yeah.
Okay. Because there's some dangerous area. You better don't go.
Mm-hmm. It's true. There's always danger, in anything you do. But yeah, I mean, within reason, right? You don't want to go explore a volcano, for example.
So how me and Stephan met, and people ask me a lot of times, how are you finding your guests for your studio, for your podcast? Well, we interact with so many people on a daily basis, and that's one of my things, to meet 5 new people every day, to get to know them at least a little. And
5 people every day. That's
put it this way,
you must
like
be a really social person.
Get out of your comfort. For you can be just make one person smile or whatever, you name it. So I met you and we had a good conversation. I got so hooked up, and it reminded me for my university time when I was climbing. And I was like, why don't you come to my podcast? I was trying to flex, like I have a podcast, I have a studio. And you're like, no, I actually have been to a podcast before. I'm like, damn, I haven't met that kind of person before who is like flexing me back.
It didn't mean to be a flex. It was just like,
I'm popular. I'm already. Have you checked my name in the Google? So yeah, man. Like I listened your podcast before, like the previous podcast before this happened right now, and you were there to actually talk about your travel experiences.
Yeah, it was a best trip, worst trip travel experience.
Okay, and we can go there for a moment, but before I want to tell you, the first 10 minutes of this podcast, you guys talk about how you start doing your own beer,
That is another thing. Yeah,
how you're
I'm
brewing.
brewing my own beer. Yeah.
So, for those who don't know, I quit drinking alcohol and it's already almost 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I will go back to drinking. I drink Heineken Zero right now, and I want to brew my own non alcoholic beer.
That'd be awesome. I have no
What's,
idea how you would do that.
how do you brew your own?
So it actually started. I feel like I keep going on like these little tangents. I think the first question you asked me is how do I get started into rock climbing? I don't even know if I answered that question.
We haven't answered many questions. I have so many in my mind.
Many
Okay.
questions and little answers.
Okay.
But yeah, in terms of brewing a beer, it was never my intention to brew beers. It was just coming around holiday season. People were asking me what I wanted for gifts. I never want anything. I just appreciate company. If I want something, I'll just go get it. But so I just told them, get me a craft beer, something local. I'll try a new beer. That was kind of my idea. That way I'd have a variety of different flavors, have a new experience. That was the intention. But what ends up happening is that they like chipped in and got me like a brewing kit. Like what they heard was, oh, Steve just wants to, try new beers. What turned into Steve wants to brew his own beer somehow. I don't know if there was like a communication or what the history behind it was, but it turns out that I had like 2 5-gallon drums of, equipment and like all this stuff. And yeah, I mean, I ended up brewing like, I think it was 24 like 18-ounce bottles or so, like 5 gallons worth of liquid into my first beer. And it was an amber ale. Turned out fine. And then it's just kind of been something I've been doing periodically ever since. The actual process of brewing the beer, I go to a website where they have like entire beer kits that they ship to your house. It's qualified by difficulty in brewing process or the expected output into how much you'll get or different flavor palettes, things like that. So I just go there, order all the ingredients, gets shipped in about a week, and then I begin the brew process.
Nice. I love that. And see how you explain it from the beginning to the end. You say your story about brewing,
Yeah.
how it came and how it happened. So tell me about the previous question, which we didn't answer.
The rock climbing. Yeah, I was
rock
telling you about
climbing.
like my goals, right? The goals of the year and the
Yeah.
socialization, and I got to the ukulele. But yeah, I think it was around maybe October or November, pretty much like closing out the end of the year. My entire life, I was deathly afraid of heights. It was something I always struggled with. It was something where I felt like it was this insurmountable fear. It was my Mount Everest, is the expression a lot of people use, that it's like this top of the world kind of goal. And one of my, I guess, goals then would be to conquer my fear of heights. So I joined a local gym, like a rock climbing gym. It was Vertical Endeavors. They have a huge warehouse of like different rock walls and stuff. And I was out there, and I would go every day, just trying to conquer my fear, And I remember I would climb on the easiest walls. I would go about halfway up and just like tense and have these panic attacks and just like trying to just be familiar and calm and relax. And there'd be just kids just going right by me, not a problem, 10-year-olds. This is no big deal to them. But to me, it was like, this is crazy. I couldn't do this.
Your hands are sweating.
Yes.
And you're shaking.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you have rock climbing experience, but what I try to tell everyone is just to relax. Keep your hands to the wall. Your legs will do all the work, but your hands are there just really to hold yourself to the wall. And in terms of like basic routes. But at the time, I didn't have a teacher or an instructor. I was just up there trying to conquer my fear of heights.
Without a supporting rope?
It was an auto belay. So
Okay.
there was a mechanical machine holding me up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, I would go on the wall and I would squeeze as hard as I can for like 30 minutes. And then I would get off the wall and then I would drive home. And that was my day, every day, of just, jumping into the deep end of the pool and trying to figure it out.
Pushing yourself in your will drive,
Yeah.
like willpower. Would I do that again, or should I stay at home and be lazy and watch Netflix?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And you put out the work, and you went there, and you did it every day.
I did it every day. It took me a month. of going every day, having panic attacks, being terrified, being exhausted, to eventually accomplish it, And that accomplishment turned into something that was once like, oh, I was, really afraid of this, to now being something like, oh, this is exciting. This is something new. This is a challenge where I can now, for those of you who don't know, like rock climbing, but there's different grades and difficulties. So you can climb one wall and you start climbing other walls. You make it more challenging for yourself. You have different experiences. The routes change periodically. And what started as a fear became a hobby. And now it's, kind of my part-time job.
So that's one of your hobbies.
Yeah, definitely. Before I guess I moved out to Park Ridge, I would climb 5 times a week. It was both like a workout, but it was also a hobby, and it was fun. And I would bring friends along the way, and it's I don't do it as much, but I do miss it, and I think it's just a fun experience. It's relaxing, therapeutic, it's cerebral, it's a workout. It's like everything all packed into one.
And I remember we discussed that when we met about talking the bowling. Why there are so many bowling fields that you can go and play with friends, but there's not many mountain, what is it called?
Rock
walls that you can go and hike with friends and just spend the same quality of time, but for better experience.
Yes.
Socializing, we discussed it, is like we have to be something with bars, with food, with drinking, with being consumers.
Mm-hmm. It's very American. Bowling is very American.
Same as golf.
Yeah. I don't know if people are consuming as much on the golf course as they are in the bowling alleys.
Oh, some of them, they just go to drink.
Oh, yeah.
Would you drink if you go to climb in the mountain or in the...
Would I?
Whoa.
Like, when I go snowboarding or skiing, there's occasionally like a bar or, a little brewery on the mountain, which is fun. I don't know if I would do it climbing. Maybe like to a top, like get to the top, kind of have like a local beer or something.
Yeah, something to
I wouldn't turn it down.
Cheer yourself for the success.
Sure.
But you're not going to do it along the way. Same as, you can have a tea, you can have a coffee, something to push you further. But alcohol, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm. So it's not something you're constantly consuming.
All these socializing events that we go and attend and bring people to one place, it brings to one point. You have to drink, you have to eat, and that's how fun is.
There's an obligation, it feels like.
That's how I invite you here, because you're different. You know how to have fun different way. Climbing, brewing, ukulele, you name it, You want to be different. You want to do 1% of the things 99% of the things that other people don't do, or whatever, how it's called. So, yeah, man, that's really fun.
Well, thank you. I guess I don't think of it that way. Like, I'm not trying to differentiate myself from others, but I do, I guess, want to be the best version of myself I can, and wherever that takes me, I guess, is to be decided. But thank you for the.
Is that should be something done with your engineer thinking?
I don't know.
Do you do a lot of calculation and math, like resolving in your brain while you do stuff?
I definitely have an analytical brain.
Okay.
But a lot of my friends are also engineers, going through the engineering field, you're surrounded by other engineers. I think we all have similarities in the way we think. I don't know if I could say that everyone is, I guess, as determined as I am to like achieving, like when they set out for a goal, are they going to achieve the goal? There's like a chance or whatever. Or I guess as goal focused, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I could answer that, but I do think having an analytical brain is advantageous because it allows you to kind of have that critical thinking in order to maybe make those tough decisions where it's not something I want to do, but it's something that has to happen. Kind of going back to how, instead of watching Netflix and being lazy, I make the willpower decision to go and have panic attacks on the wall, when I'm rock climbing. And it's just kind of like, it's taking the, I guess, decision making out of it. There's an expression they say, it's, in sports, it was always don't think, just react. Practice makes perfect.
Exactly.
So if you apply that same logic to life, you don't want to think about it. Don't think about going to the gym. It's just go to the gym. That's that's what you do. There shouldn't be like the moment it goes into your brain to think if this is going to happen or not tends to be the point where you start deciding these are the reasons why I shouldn't do something, But deep down, you have to do this. You have to go do something, or even outside of like, the gym aspect. If it's work, if it's project related, you as soon as you start thinking, should I do this? You're already looking for excuses to not do that.
Yeah. Don't ask yourself, just do it.
Yeah.
Don't think what can happen.
Mm-hmm.
I always catch myself in a situation early in the morning. It's too early. Why should I get up off the bed? And I start looking for reasons.
Right.
I know I have to go to the gym, but I have the whole day. Why should I go right now?
Yeah.
And if I go back to sleep, my day's bad. The whole day after that decision, the first decision of the day, which is get up. After that, everything leads to something. I'm behind of my tasks. I'm behind of my day, of the things I have to do, and I'm postponing some tasks for tomorrow. And you said so right that I was like, I have nothing to add. Now I'm just gibbering here.
So I guess a question back to you. When did you come to that realization where you shouldn't doubt yourself, you shouldn't question yourself, or like what you have to do, but as soon as you start questioning this, you look for excuses to not achieve that goal? So at what point in your life did you kind of realize that?
I don't have the exact aha moment of I'm gonna do that. I had one time, it happened 2011 when I got beat up by I would say a friend, but a well-known person. And I didn't expect that, and I woke up in the hospital, and I had a brain injury, and I wasn't able to drink, I wasn't able to watch TV, wasn't able to listen loud music, to work out, and anything I used to do before. And the only thing I was able to do is actually read, because it doesn't actually what is called when the eyes are connected to the brain, and I'm putting so much work into the eyes, so my brain is getting so much of consumption that I don't know that. At some point, I realized that the only thing I have to do is just to read, and I start reading, and with that reading, it leads me to, okay, I can learn different things of just hearing it from my friends or watching it from Netflix. I can actually learn from the books, and I started reading. And my second aha moment was actually when my grandma passed away. It was like 2 months ago. We have no time. I just realized we have no time, and whatever we have to do it today, because tomorrow may not, like the sun may not rise. just based on history that there is tomorrow, that doesn't mean there is tomorrow.
Right.
I don't know if I can express myself right, but can you ask the question again?
I was kind of asking when you came to that realization of how you can prioritize a task, how you can set your emotions aside to the sense of like, I don't like not wanting to do something in my mind isn't a valid enough excuse for a reason not to do something when you know it has to be done, whether it's work related, social obligations, your personal growth with, the gym. If your goal is to go every day, but you don't feel like it today, I mean, taking that feeling out of it, taking that emotional aspect out of it, and just saying like this has to be done, whether or not you want to is irrelevant.
I kind of realized something as habits I have to create during the day that I shouldn't even ask myself. They should be done. I shouldn't even think of. They should just be done without even questioning. Like I have to wake up early. Why? Because I want more time during the day.
What time is early for you?
Around 6.
6 a.m. every day?
Yeah.
All right, what time do you go to bed?
Midnight.
Okay. So you're getting like maybe 5.5 hours of sleep a day?
6 hours, 7 hours. It depends. Midnight is the latest.
Okay.
The other thing is I have to go to the gym and I want to go early. And I start going to the gym after I wake up first thing in the morning without even having a breakfast. And I start feeling well. And all these realizations lead me to the point that I don't have to ask myself what is right or wrong. Just have to experience it to prove it is right. And that's how I start experiencing more and more and more and more things till I realize I just have to do them. I don't need to ask my questions. Why? Because at the end of the day, it's what you did, not what you didn't do. That's why I just start doing things. And at some point when my grandmother passed away, I realized, and I talked that in the previous podcast, I don't want to work. I don't want to live for tomorrow. I want to live today. I don't want to be the person who is going to be with a great body 10 years later, or with a large amount of money, or with a great family, or with a great personality. I want to be that person today. Mm-hmm. How can I do that? Let's do it. Let me say hi to you. Let me talk to you. Why should I skip it and be like, I'll see him next week?
Yeah. So like when we first met, I think I was just like standing in the rock wall. You came down the stairs and something clicked in your mind where you're like, I'm going to walk in there, say hello, and do some climbing.
I wanted to climb, and I was seeing this like climbing wall. And I was asking the staff there, when that it's open? And there is a sign there. It's showing just 12 to 5 during the weekends. So I'm like, perfect. I'll go next weekend because it was already Sunday and it was early or something. And I had other things to do. But the next weekend I came, and it was around that time that you were coming. I finished my workout and I came to see you. I didn't come to see you exactly. I came to climb.
Right.
But you were there and I was like, let's chat. That brings me to the history of some memories of what I did before in life. Mm-hmm. Why I stopped. I asked myself, why I stopped that? I loved it. I love tennis. I love playing tennis. Why I stopped it? Start asking questions of why I found an excuse to stop these things that I liked. And that's how I'm like, I don't want an excuse. I want to just do them.
Right.
I know I like them. I proved myself I like them. I don't like more things I do during the day than the things I don't do right now. So I start doing the things I like to find the source of energy to lead me to the day.
Right.
If there are so many people try to take my energy during the day, resolve some issues, problems and whatever in life and burn my energy, I have to find the source of the energy from other place that I have to give to this source. No source, but that is taking my energy. My job, taking so much energy. Do I take energy from there? I don't think so. There's so many people I work with, they take my energy. So I have to take that energy from the sources. And which are the sources? Tennis. I love tennis. The things that make me better person. Um, waking up early and watching the sunset,
The sunrise.
the sunrise.
Yeah.
Watching the sunrise make me put a smile on my face for no reason. I just feel like I beat the day today. I wake up before the sun comes. I'm faster. I'm here. I'm presenting myself.
Right.
I don't know, getting a good workout done, getting the job done, fulfill me somehow. Just have to find your source of energy that lead you to the tasks that you have energy to complete them.
Yep.
What's your source of energy? Gaming?
Oh, wow. I think I get energy through some type of creative outlet, creative problem solving, where I can get hyper focused on a task, lose myself in time, and watch periodically as something gets completed. You know, growing up playing with Legos was a perfect example of this, where you start with just a mess of blocks. You follow this manual, you spend 3 hours assembling, and then you're done. And those 3 hours would be the fastest 3 hours of my life. And kind of like taking that concept and trying to apply it today, where it's like, hey, let's start with nothing, end with something, and have some type of creative problem solving along the way. And this can be done through cooking, for example, where you like try to make a new meal, but make some modifications to the recipe, do some stuff you like in the process, and then you have this new result where you then get to enjoy what you created. So yeah, I think that's kind of where I get my energy, of having a way to try something new, be creative, you know, find some type of outlet to create and innovate and experience.
You know, I also find my energy from traveling. We forgot to mention that. When we go and travel the world and we see other things and other cultures and meet other people and experience different type of living, we open our imagination. We start dreaming more.
Yeah.
That opens to more creativity. Comes to the mind that I can do that way better at home.
Mm-hmm.
I can do other things now. Like travel is another thing that bring me energy. And that's Elena helped me with that. I was the guy who worked before. Just working and collecting this energy, which is source of money. That's how I see money. Money for me, it's saved energy. I don't wanna I put my energy to make this money and I put them on the side. So that's saved energy for later. And I can use this energy to buy other people's energy, you know, today to do something for me. And I start using this saved energy with Elena, start traveling, getting another job done. Travel, enjoy the days, go through the day and think about your next trip. That's what sometimes lead me to complete my day, because I know other trip is coming. Or podcasting. I like doing that. Sometimes it takes a lot of energy during the day and the thoughts or what I'm gonna say or whatever, but I like it. It's different. I don't know what I'm gonna say.
Right.
I don't know if it's gonna turn out good or no. Who cares?
Yeah. This is all improv.
I don't do it for the people. I don't do it for whoever gonna listen. How many followers do I gonna have? I do it for myself, for the moment. And that's the only thing we have in life. That's what one of my aha moments, that I realized the only thing we owe personally is the moment that we had. We don't have this table, we don't have this watch, because they will all be gone. But we're gonna have this memory saved somewhere, and moment in life that happened.
Right.
That's what is our data is. You're talking about data, collecting data.
Yes.
That's our moments. And Mihail or Stefan or Steve, we have our moments, and that's who we are today because of our moments before.
Yeah. We are who we are through our experiences and our past.
And I just want more moments. I want to live these moments right now, to be present, because I was always a person who think and live about tomorrow. And I was the guy who I want to be tomorrow. I was the job it need to be done tomorrow, or I was postponing stuff, and I realized there is no tomorrow. I was explaining that to the podcast before, but it's the same distance from 0 to 1 as from 1 to infinity. People think from 0 to 1 is just one number. It's easy, like tomorrow, but it's not, because you have 0.00001, 0.00011, and it goes to so many numbers that you cannot stop. It's infinity.
Yep.
And from 1 to infinity is the same amount of time and same amount of numbers. It's just how deep you go to it. And I realize time, it's infinity. I have to do it today. I don't know if I have 100 years.
Right.
I don't want to have 100 years.
All of us have an hourglass over our head where sand is just ticking away. And everyone has a different amount of sand. And it's going to happen.
And
life's going to end, you know?
And that shouldn't matter. The only thing should matter is the moments we create,
Right.
the experience we had, and the things we did, the energy, how we used it, what we did, how we experienced life. That's what I'm doing the podcast, because you cannot measure it with money.
Right.
We live in one financial system that we realize, I'm gonna do that for $20. I'm gonna help you if you give me $500. I'm gonna come and build that studio for $1,000. No, that shouldn't matter in life. I wanna do it because, just because I wanna do this studio and this podcast and record this moment, because that cannot be measured in money. I have 30 years of experience living my life, coming from Bulgaria, learn different lessons along the way, different path, came here, somehow try to express myself in English. You, Stefan, coming from Germany,
I was born here.
you were born here, but
Yep.
where's your roots?
Yeah. So my great grandfather, I think.
He's Nazi.
I don't think Nazis existed back then. But yeah, so I have German and Irish heritage from my German from my father's side and some Irish from my mom's side.
Yeah, and everybody's unique. You have, how old are you?
30.
So you're same age as mine. You have 30 years of different experience living the life. You learn different lessons. You're engineer. I do other stuff in life. We end up being here in one room. We discuss some topics. You put your opinion. I put my opinion. And we all record that moment in life. And this moment, tomorrow will be heard from someone else. You don't know how this, whatever they listen, will impact their life. You don't know how they're going to change because of this podcast we record today. That cannot be measured with money.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Yeah. And I think just going back to how you said you do stuff because you want to. You do things for the experience and it brings you joy. That's probably the reason why I'm here as well. You know, it's kind of like this why not mentality. I've been to, I don't know, 50 or so, maybe more concerts, music concerts and festivals and stuff. I can't honestly say that I enjoy them, but they're experiences, and I have memories and, you know, moments that I would, even though I may not enjoy it, I would still rather have the experience than to be, I don't know, sitting and watching television on the next whatever show people are watching these days.
And since you say show, I have something in mind that I want to ask every. I was about to say client or a guest, every guest of my studio.
Yeah.
I want to ask them, what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie, I think, was The Arrival.
The Arrival.
Yes.
Okay, I'll check it out. I want to watch it.
You've never heard of it?
I think I've heard of it, but I don't think I watched it or I don't remember it much.
Okay.
What is it about?
Um,
Aliens?
there are aliens involved. Yeah. So there's like imagine like a tic tac or a pill, a pod. I think 7 of them or so fall down from space and are hovering over like respective nations around the world. And it was this like race for the world to figure out why they're here and what they want. And in doing so, you're following the main character who is trying to teach these aliens how to speak and how to communicate. And I found it so fascinating because I get a lot of curiosity and enjoyment out of like from seeing how people essentially learn or how people think. How does
So
someone get from
aliens
A to B?
learn how people think.
Kind of other way around though.
That's
The aliens come with information, and the humans are trying to communicate with the aliens and make an understanding of you know what are they trying to say.
I see. Nice.
And I don't want to spoil anything.
No,
for
no,
you
no, no,
'cause-
no. I'll definitely watch it and check it out. I heard about some movie that I watched 2 days ago. I want to say it to you.
Sure.
It wasn't. I had another movie I wanted to recommend to you,
Okay.
but since I watched this, I'm like kind obsessed about it. It's called Gataka or Gotaka. Let me double
Gotaka?
check right now. Have you heard about it?
No.
Exactly.
Gotaka. Is it come out this year?
It's Gataka. It's Gattaca. Hey man, it's 1997.
Oh, okay.
It's a
so
Netflix.
It's an old movie.
It's an old movie.
Old movie on Netflix. Okay.
You know what is it about? Let me tell you just a little bit.
I have no idea what this is about.
Exactly. I didn't have any idea. So you know what's going on right now in 21st century? You can do hybrid babies. You can decide the color of your eyes, the color of your
Sure.
skin, some heart disease from your genes to be taken off, whatever. Like some little things.
Mm-hmm.
So this movie, it's about all these hybrid babies in the future. They are grown and they are all the society of just hybrid babies. And you are just the one that is born naturally, not from a like a lab, but you made from people, from love. People made sex, had sex,
Right.
and they love it.
The natural birth.
And you're not accepted by by the society, and you cannot do anything in life because you have 99% chance to die before your 30s. So nobody want to take you for work. Nobody want to take you to do anything because you're gonna die soon eventually. These hybrids are created, they're gonna live forever or 150 200 years. It's a great movie, man. Like it's just two and a half hours movie. At the end, you know, somehow when you watch a movie and you know what's gonna happen at the end,
Right.
you never know what's gonna happen at the end. You don't expect whatever gonna happen, or you're always curious. You're
Is it-
waiting to the end.
Is it like a mystery movie or
It's
a drama?
it's a
action?
sci-fi romance.
Sci-fi romance.
Yeah, romance.
Okay.
But yeah, man, like just a little things to talk about, and it was pleasure, man. It was pleasure to have you here.
Yeah.
It was pleasure to talk to you about your way of seeing life and how you are going out of your comfort and you're realizing that you can do whatever you want. You just have to go and do it. And how we engineer things.
Yeah, and I guess in a way of like a mindset of kind of like if someone is interested in change or like trying to apply themselves, or you know, the idea of like where to begin. There were this book I read, or books maybe. Marcus Aurelius wrote books called the Meditations. Marcus Aurelius was a Roman emperor and I guess philosopher in a way. And he kind of was the fundamentalist of Stoics or Stoicism, of kind of like separating your mind from emotion and making a logical choice rather than an emotional choice. Reading those was really fascinating because it kind of put words into the feelings I have, where so many times I'll be doing something and I forget, why am I doing this again? Like, I don't enjoy this. Why am I doing that? It's like, oh, that's right, because I have to do this, you know, whether it's a work or a personal goal or some type of, you know, achievement that I want to, you know, accomplish. Because I know at the end of the day, I'll have that fulfillment. I'll have that joy and that righteousness of like, I did what I wanted to do. But the act of actually doing it is annoying, you know? Like if you were to run a mile, I don't know about you, but I do not enjoy running. But when I'm done with the mile, it's like, hey, I ran a mile. I feel good. I didn't enjoy running the mile, but I ran a mile. And that sense of joy and passion, it's the reward to hard work.
All of you guys, thank you for listening here, and hope you got rewarded from whatever me and Stephan talked about. Please follow us on Instagram. Hit a like, share it with a friend. Let us know what you didn't like, comment, and see you in the next episode.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.